When I married Clara, I believed we had built something solid. Years of shared dreams, laughter, and promises whispered in the dark. We'd been together for 7 years, and though we had our ups and downs, I thought our love was unshakable. I worked long hours to make sure she was comfortable, to give her the kind of life she said she always wanted. But I didn't realize that while I was building our home, she was quietly tearing it down. It started with small things: Clara becoming distant, her smile fading into politeness, her phone always in her hand. When I'd walk into the room, she'd lock her screen as if I was some stranger. I told myself it was stress, maybe just routine fatigue. But when she began dressing up even for quick errands, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. One Friday evening, I came home earlier than usual. I wanted to surprise her with her favorite takeout. But as I stepped inside, the surprise was on me. There were 2 wine glasses on the table, candles burning, and soft music playing. My first thought was maybe she planned something romantic for us, until I heard laughter coming from the living room. A man's laughter. I froze for a second, then walked in. There he was, sitting on my couch, in my house, his hand resting on her knee. The shock that hit me was like a cold wave. Clara's eyes went wide when she saw me. She stuttered something about it not being what it looked like, but it was exactly that. The man stood up, trying to act calm, but his guilt was written all over his face. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I just stared at her, and that silence was heavier than any word I could have said. Clara looked terrified. I told her to leave, both of them, before I lost my calm completely. She begged me to talk, to explain, but I wasn't interested in explanations anymore. Betrayal doesn't need translation. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the same living room where they had laughed together, staring at the untouched dinner I had brought home. My mind ran through every moment we'd shared, every time she'd said she loved me, every lie she had hidden behind those words. Something in me changed that night, not anger, but resolve. Over the next week, I kept quiet. Clara tried calling, texting, even showing up at my work. I didn't respond. Instead, I began preparing for what came next. I contacted a lawyer and gathered evidence. Messages, pictures, even the footage from our home camera that I had installed months before when I suspected something was off. What I saw confirmed everything. The following weekend, Clara came back to pick up some of her clothes. She walked in nervously, trying to talk about fixing things. I handed her a folder, the divorce papers, and a USB drive with everything I'd found. Her face went pale. She realized there was no way to twist her way out of it. I told her that all of this, everything she destroyed, was her own doing. Then came the twist she didn't expect. The man she cheated with, her so-called lover, was married too. His wife found out about the affair when I sent her the evidence. She filed for divorce immediately and went public with everything. His career and reputation collapsed overnight. Clara had thought she'd found someone better, but all she got was ruin. A few days later, Clara showed up at my door again, crying, saying she'd made a mistake and lost everything. She begged for forgiveness, saying she had nowhere else to go. I looked at her for a long time, the same woman I once adored, now standing broken by her own choices. I told her quietly that forgiveness wasn't the same as forgetting. I didn't let her stay. I closed the door gently, but firmly. That was the last time I saw her in person. The divorce went through quickly, and I sold the house soon after. I needed a new start, not surrounded by walls that had witnessed betrayal. Months passed, and life slowly became peaceful again. I learned to smile without bitterness, to enjoy mornings without the shadow of what used to be. People often say revenge is about hurting the other person, but for me, the real revenge was moving on, living better, and letting the truth destroy them on its own. Clara and her lover lost everything: their reputations, their relationships, their comfort. But I gained something far more valuable: clarity. I realized that peace is stronger than rage, and truth always wins in the end. Now, when I look back, I feel no anger. Just a strange gratitude. Because that betrayal, as painful as it was, freed me from a life built on lies. And sometimes, that's the only kind of justice you need.